Hello friends and welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you are back. If you are new, hi, my name's Rabbit and my pronouns are they, them, and thank you so much for clicking on my video today. Basically I just wanted to jump in real quick, record an intro because I always forget for these things. So hi, this is one of my little spooky season vlogs. I'm gonna do a lot of like crafting and baking, super cozy time. Before we get into that, I wanted to jump in and show off my outfit and makeup real quick because it's all very experimental today and I was having a lot of fun. I feel kind of like an evil carny or something. Like it feels like a little bit circusy but also like spooky, and I like it a lot. So let's start from head to toe. As usual, my hair is in a scrunchie and it looks kind of stupid because I washed it the other day, but it's fine. Bangs I trimmed the other day, so if they're uneven, shh. And makeup. This is a thing that is fun and experimental because ever since like freaking, I want to say like 2015 and stuff, I was seeing people do like these very elaborate eye makeup looks that I was always like, that is just like too beautiful and too fantastical, and I could I could never. And then I was like, you know what, like let's just try it, because one of my favorite ones that I really wanted to try was like a little graveyard scene, because I've seen people do like these like eye makeup looks with like a little graveyard and this and that, and like bats and moons, and I'm like, wow, this is like so beautiful. And I figured, you know what, let's just try it this morning. And I did. So I got like little tombstones and like a little bat and like a little sparkle. And then on this side, it's like even better because like this is the side that it's easier for me to draw on. More like bats and tombstones and stars and moons and stuff. And everything's like very orangey and yellow and autumnal on the top, and the bottom is like purple and red. So it feels like everything's like black and white except for like the splash of color on the eyes, which I don't know, it's fun. Then these earrings I got in Edmonton when I was there. They're super cute and like vintage little cats. I adore them. And then I've just got like a random tooth behind that. Rings as usual. And then for, okay, so this thing that I'm wearing here, hey Tuna. This thing that I'm wearing here is like a belt that I just kind of doubled up and like put over my shoulders as like an accessory thing, because I wish I had like one of those little harnesses with like a top thing, but I don't, so this is like my DIY version of that. This shirt is fantastic. A lovely subscriber sent it to me and I adore it. It's just like black and white, super spooky, super Beetlejuice, and yeah, just fantastic. I'm wearing it with these little bee pins. Cage and I have matching ones of these that I got us at like Hot Topic when we first started dating, so you know. And then this like corset bottom thing is from like Wish or AliExpress or like one of those sites that I got forever ago. And overall it's just like, yes, very fun, spooky, clowny look. I'm excited to get editing and get through my day. So without further ado, I'll let you get to the vlog that you came here for. So let's get going. Hey friends, I'm just popping in really quick. I'm not sure how screwed up my makeup looks because I'm not gonna lie, I have pre-gamed a smidge. But Cage and I are about to go to like the Cure DJ night at one of our local kind of alternative bars. So I just wanted to pop in really quick and show my outfit. Basically the last time I wore this shirt, I didn't really like how it looked, so I wanted to like try styling it again. As usual, got the scrunchie. Got some little bone hair clips. I've got a whole ton of earrings in. So I've got these swords, these little coffins, and then these little like vampire fangs. Very fun, very on theme for the night. I'm going with kind of like a vampire sort of look. Got my favorite choker on. This little possum necklace that I found from the thrift store. Then these two necklaces I both made. One has a bat on it, one has like a little bird skull. And I have paired that with just this kind of like corset belt situation. And then on the bottom half, very exciting things are happening. I'm wearing this new kind of sheer Persephone batwing skirt that I got when I was in Edmonton, and I love it. I'm wearing it with my little short shorts, and this is the first time I've worn these in public, so I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious because it's gonna be like the first like kind of butt cheeks out kind of night, but I'm very excited. And then I got my fishnets on, just two pairs of different sizes, both with rips, so they look all super cool, and my favorite boots. So we're ready, we're gonna go, we're gonna have a fantastic time. I'm also gonna wear my like DIY vampire jacket, so let me grab that really quick. This is what the outfit is looking like with the full jacket on. But I'm super excited. Wish me luck. I think it'll be a really fun night. I can't wait to have like a freaking The Cure night like at my local bar. Like that's so freaking cool. It'll be a really great time, and this is the look. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick. For perfume, I'm wearing Lust by Lush, and I love it. Alright, see See you in the next one. I'm gonna go have a good dancing time with Gage. All right, see you soon. The night ended up being super fun, and it was extra delightful because I love dancing, but Cage isn't super into it, and he was telling me that like he finally felt comfortable, and this was like one of the first times that like, yeah, we were able to just really dance together, and like I could see him actually having fun instead of like just trying for me. So it was really, really special. I had a delightful time, and there were a lot of people out there. Super, super fun, and exciting, promising night. Excited to go to more. Friends, okay, I had like such a long, wild day. So much is going on. I just wanted to pop in real quick and just talk a little bit. Basically, Cage left for Edmonton this morning, which is so sad because I'm all alone, and it's gonna be his birthday, and he's gonna be in Edmonton for his birthday without me, which is super sad because I'm gonna miss him, and that sucks, but it's okay. We're gonna celebrate it when he gets back. This morning, our sink in our kitchen was like backing up with like weird gray liquid. And that was super stressful. Then I went to work, which is weird because I usually don't work on Mondays, but that's fine. Work was really chill, so that was really nice. There's like kind of a double-edged sword when work is chill, because on one hand, it's chill, which is great, but on the other hand, tips suck, and the time passes way slower, so take it or leave it. Regardless, the night is about to get 1,100,000 times better, because even though Cage is not here, it's time for me and Lemon and Tuna to have like the house to ourselves and party it up. I have made a absolutely vile looking mixed drink, which I am so excited to try, you guys. I'll like input maybe like a little clip or something of me making it. But I tried, basically I got this like thing from Marshall's that is just like a bunch of sugar and dried fruit, and you put vodka in it, and then you let it sit for a couple hours, and then you drink it. And it's like this is not a color that humans should be consuming, so I am very excited to try it. I think it'll taste like super sour appley, and I'm just, I'm excited. I got some apple juice and some edible glitter. It's gonna be like such a sparkly, fun, Appletinis time. Like I've always wanted like a poison apple looking drink for the spooky season, and this is my thing, and it's a perfect thing to cheer me up while Cage is gone. Not that you should drink when you're sad, that's bad advice. Don't, like, not in that way. Okay, the other thing that's happening tonight, shh, don't tell Cage, but for his birthday every year I make him a card, and I like put little pictures of it, of like all our inside jokes and like all the things that we did and like special stuff. And it's not done, but once I stop filming, that's what my plan is tonight, just to like cozy up with my Appletinis and maybe put on some old Buffy or like some other kind of like spooky Halloween adjacent movie and work on this. So I'm just starting inking it in, so it doesn't look great, but it's fun, it's cute, it's like nice to see the progress shots. And this year I'm gonna try to do Lemon and Tuna in like a very like vintage like Joanna Parker kind of style. So I'm really excited about that. I really hope he likes it. But the thing that we are here for, that I am so excited about, is that my freaking Draculaura arrived. Okay, so much has been happening in the Monster High world lately. The latest thing that happened, which I was like so heartbroken about, was that gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Draculaura, like Vampire Heart Draculaura, released. I'll put a picture of her here in case you don't know what I'm talking about. And she's a US exclusive, which, scream, cry, throw up. I was so sad about that. She's so pretty, but it's okay. It's just more incentive to make my own custom doll version of her. Plus, I had just spent quite a bit on the last Draculaura custom release, so that's who I got in the mail today, and that's who we're gonna open. And I'm just like really excited, because like while I was at work, I got like a text being like, your package was delivered. So I like ran home, and then I like couldn't find the package like in the spot that they had showed it, and I was like, oh my god. And I found this other package, and I was like, oh, it's cool, it's mine. And then I picked it up, and the name on it was like really similar to my name, but not my name. And I was like, oh, someone has my Draculaura doll, and I'm gonna have like their random box of whatever. And I was like super stressing out and being like, should I like go to this person's like apartment number and like go check it out, or like what is happening tonight? I ended up opening the other door and being like, oh, there's my package, ha! So I haven't opened her yet. I'm really excited to see what the face looks like, but I'm also so nervous because, like you guys know, Monster High eye wonks can like be so bad, and they can really make or break the doll. But if you don't know which doll I'm talking about, by the way, the Freak du Chic Draculaura. Freak du Chic is one of my favorite Monster High lines, and I don't think Draculaura really looks like a part of it. Like, she's not very pastel. She doesn't have a lot of the stripes and the other things that they have, but she is gorgeous. She is incredible, impeccable, and she has that stupid little hat, which I want one of those so bad. I like those little bat hats where it's like a vintage like super tight cap with like the bat. I need to figure out how to make one, because those are like so goofy but like fun and vintage and elegant. Like they just scratch an itch in my brain. So I'm really excited to look at this beautiful, beautiful Draculaura. The box is incredible. The enough talking about it, let's look at it, because I'm seeing the box now. It says cue dramatic box opening music on the front of it, which it's fine. I'm too excited. Let's just tear into her, but gently so as to not damage the goods. So far with my collector dolls, I've not taken any of them out of the boxes, which is just as well because the boxes tend to be very, very beautiful, and I do not trust myself with super fancy collector items out of the box. I feel like maybe you guys can see her first. Could be fun. And then I'll see, and then I'll be like, oh no, she has such bad eye wonker. Oh yes, she's perfect. And then it'll be all exciting, fun unboxing together. There's like some paper over top. Oh, gently, gently. This is maybe not as streamlined as I imagined it might be, but very nice that she is in this packaging, which I'm just ripping off. Oh my god. Why am I so nervous? I am so freaking nervous. I want to look, but I'm very scared. Okay. Tell me, how's she look? Oh my god, I can't believe she's in my hand. I don't know what that said. Shut. Okay. I hope my neighbors didn't hear that because it's fucking like 11 p.m. right here. Hello? The pictures did not do her justice. Okay, the box is insane. Stop. Okay, I didn't know that this was how it worked because I know that the box, okay, it's like really cool because it works either way and it looks like bat wings and her lashes and her everything, and like when you open it, it extra looks like bat wings, but right now it just like kind of looks like a curtain and stuff, and the silhouettes on the back. Do I have to like, can I open it like this or do I have to take it? No, okay, I can open it like this. Oh my lordy. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's just take this off for a second. Okay, the cool thing about this box is like her name. I forget what it's called, but like no matter which way, like whether it's upside down or upside up, her name reads the same way, which is absolutely fantastic, gorgeous, amazing. I know probably this is like super late to anyone who cares about Monster High, but it's fine. I love her and she's incredible. Oh, I love her hanging upside down like a bat, like an acrobat. Like it's just, it's perfect for her. Her outfit is stunning. Her hair looks really cute. Count Fabulous looks really fun also. And like all of the tiny details are absolutely incredible. I am so freaking tempted to take her out of the box, but her box looks so pretty. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But this art style is not my favorite Monster High art style. Like this is the one thing that kind of bums me out about the box, but it doesn't matter at all because this is everything. She is everything. She is so cute. She is perfect. She looks like the most cutest, most perfect little clown with like that perfect hat. Dude, she has such a good face. I can't. Okay. And yeah, her box is incredible because it's like a little Batwing display stage. Obviously this is upside down right now, but you can, that's why it's detachable. So if you do want to, genius. Okay. Okay, maybe let's not give Mattel too much credit here. But, so like the curtains, the Batwing curtains, and then behind it we have all the G1 Freak du Chic. I hope you can see that. Ooh, cool. And then on the back we have the silhouettes. And it's perfect, and I love her, and amazing, incredible. My day is made, my life is made. She's gorgeous, she's fantastic, she's everything. Sorry, I look so freaking gross after a day of work. I am sorry. But regardless, I'm obsessed. And I'm gonna go stare at her for a long time, and then I'm gonna work on some cage drawing and also drinking some Appletinis. So I have a fantastic night ahead of me. Really, really excited, even though I do miss Cage. It always sucks to be apart from your partner, but then it makes like getting back together even sweeter when you get to see each other, so that'll be nice. Yeah, it's good, because I have a lot of stuff to keep me occupied while he's gone, including staring at this gorgeous face, and a lot of like birthday preparations, because I want to do like a spooky cute cake. And regardless, that's all I got for now, and I hope you enjoyed my little interlude. I love her. My daughter. My daughter, my child. I need to like find a really good spot to display her because I think this is my favorite collector doll that is out. Like she is, like I have not felt this way about a collector doll for like a hot, like the other Home Couture Draculaura was also like everything, but like it was also a very preppy style where like circus is like my like this is, I am obsessed. Okay, yeah. I'm like not even sad about Vampire Heart anymore because I have her and she's everything. Okay. I'll see you Bye. Have a good one. See you in the next clip. Okay, bye.
So here I am getting this Appletinis mix started. Super exciting. I'm just adding some regular vodka, and it filled up, like already the color was wild and alien, and I was like, this is gonna be terrible for me, but also very delightful. So go ahead and shake it up. Then I left it for like at least 3 hours, I think. I got out my fancy claw cup and added a little bit of edible glitter powder to it and some bat ice cubes. Got the little strainer out and poured in a little bit of the drink, plus some apple juice, and stirred it up with my Spiderweb straw. And dude, like the sparkles, everything, it was a very good test run for like Cage's birthday, because that was like one of the reasons I wanted to make it, and yeah, turned out great. So it's the next morning and it's time to make the first official spooky coffee of the season. So I'm going ahead and adding some vanilla, scream, and sugar coffee and some hot water to my French press, letting it steep for a little while, and getting out my little cat cup. I love this freaking guy. Once it's steeped, I can give it a good plunge and pour out that amazing, delicious coffee. Then I have this pumpkin spice creamer that I'm adding. It's really tasty. And I have this coconut whipped cream that I also got from my grocery store, adding a generous helping of that, plus some little black sprinkles, a couple of small star sprinkles that I think I got at Michael's, and a spooky little cupcake pick. I had a couple to choose from and I picked the moon. Plus I needed a little spooky straw, of course, and the official spooky coffee of the season was on the go. My little homemade pumpkin spice latte with the stars. It felt magical and delightful, and yeah, absolutely perfect. Once it was brewed, it was time to get painting. So I'd finished all the line work the previous night, and I had my candle going, my coffee, and my tea ready, and of course my little partner in crime, Tuna, was ready to hang out with me while I got painting. So every year I like to do a watercolor painting for Cage, commemorating all the things that we've done, and this one was really special because I got to paint us in our Halloween cardigans. Plus I wanted to watch something, and I figured since I'd be there for a while, it was a great time to watch one of my favorite horror series, Saw. I know a lot of people like to watch Gilmore Girls for the autumn season, which makes sense, it has a lot of the autumn vibes, but I want to see Luke from Gilmore Girls as Peter Strahd, giving himself a tracheectomy trying to get out of a saw trap. Like that's my Gilmore Girl Saw moment, though I will say that show is delightful. Also, I don't know if any of you guys are like this, but with me, if it's a favorite series, like I can't just watch one of them. If I'm watching one of them, I have to watch all of them in order. So like for Saw, Hellraiser, Silent Hill, like there's just like some that like you can't just watch the one, you have to watch every single one if you're committing. And the other exciting thing that I didn't know until this year, because I hadn't watched Saw since I'd watched Buffy, but friggin' Darla's in it. Darla from Angel is in Saw. It was wild. I think she's in the 5th one, but the one where like they all have to work together to defeat the traps. I think it's Saw 5. But yeah, she's like one of the last survivors in that, and I was like staring at her the whole time, and I was like, she looks familiar. Is that like Eleanor from The Good Place? Like, no, it's not quite her. And then it dawned on me, and I was like, it's Darla. Oh, crazy. Very exciting things. This series is really nostalgic for me, even though I think I just started watching it like last year or something. I really, really enjoy it, and I know it's very divisive, but I love kind of soap opera sort of things where it's like, this person was actually the wife of that person, and oh no, like if you had just communicated this better, like that kind of stuff. Oh, I live for that kind of stuff. Regardless, I had a super fun time hanging out with my Tuna and painting everything out. I love to just get to have a quiet day in to paint. I remember I had the window open, which was super nice, just feeling like the autumn air blow in and like cycling through my various coffees, teas, and waters while hanging out with the best girl ever and watching one of my favorite series ever. It was just a really fantastic way to spend that day. I love getting to do this kind of project every year because it is a chance for me to reminisce about all the favorite things that Cage and I got to do together. I get to like look at all the pictures and journal entries over the past year and be like, oh, I remember this exciting event, or like going camping on this day, or this spot that we explored, or this time that we got lost. So it's just a really special time, like personally for me, to spend a day even just like sketching everything out, and then eventually like spending a couple days like coloring it in and painting it and inking it and getting it all nice and correct. It's a really nice meditative time. I feel like I never paint really anymore, but every year getting to sit down and have at least one solid day of painting feels really really special for my soul, and Cage was super excited with the card. Here is the final product if you are interested. And it's cool because yeah, for every year we've been together, I have a different card, like commemorating all the different things that we love. So yeah, special times.
Hello, it's me again. It is September 14th when I am filming this, which means it's Cage's birthday tomorrow, which I'm so excited for. Also sad about because he's not going to be here, but that's okay because when he comes back we're going to celebrate together, and I am here to start prepping for that. Got my apron on because we're going to start cooking. Basically I have this idea and I really hope it works out. So like last week I tested out a recipe for vegan meringues. I still have them in here and they look really good in my opinion. Well, some of them are a little deflated, but very like crunchy and cute and etc etc. But they didn't taste the best, and I think it's because I used only icing sugar instead of the combination of icing and regular sugar or just regular sugar on its own, and also I hadn't cleaned my oven in a really long time, so they tasted like gross burnt oven stuff, and then I looked into my oven after I'd cooked them and I was like, oh, that makes sense because there's a bunch of gross burnt oven stuff in the bottom of it. So there you go. So I went and did a deep clean of my oven. I have some different ingredients. I'm gonna try adding vanilla this time because I think that's also one of the things that will contribute to it tasting better. But the idea is to make little vegan meringues that I can add little like chocolate to make ghost faces onto, and then position them around a cake as like spooky little ghosts, and then the cake itself will be like some sort of chocolate cake or brownie. I haven't decided yet, but one of those two with a spiderweb design on top, ideally, fingers crossed that it works, and also like some candles and like random stuff like that. But yes, I'm gonna try to remake the meringues today. The issue with these, or not issue, but like the kind of pain in the butt about meringues is that it takes like 2 hours to cook them because you have to cook them at a super low heat for like a really long time. So hopefully this recipe works out and it turns out good. He's not coming home till Saturday, which I'm super sad about, but it's okay because yeah, I'm super excited to see him, and this is just one of the many things that I will be baking, so I'm sure to see you soon in the next couple of clips doing baking tomorrow and the next day. So without further ado, let's get making these meringues.
So I'm starting out with some aquafaba in a glass bowl, which if you don't know is the water that you get out of chickpeas, and adding a little bit of cream of tartar. And then I'm taking out these whisks that I got at the thrift store. Oh my god, finally guys, I have a pair of electric whisks, because before this, every time I had to whisk things up, it was by hand and it would take forever and my arm would get so sore, and this was just so much easier. Regardless, getting them whipped up nice and well, and this was my first time using aquafaba and I found it worked absolutely beautifully. Once it was in stiff peaks, I could go ahead and add the sugars in a spoonful at a time. I just had a mixture of icing sugar and regular sugar. Spoon by spoon, we added it in and slowly mixed it with the whisks. And then I added a little bit of vanilla, and that was it, just the 4 ingredients, super simple. I'm then going ahead and taking a plastic bag and spooning all of the mixture into it. And once it's all in, I can cut off the tip of that bag and use it to pipe little ghosty shapes. I got quicker at this as I went, but it's always like a bit of a trial and error as you go. Since this was my second time making them, it was a little easier this time, but since the first time that I made them, a lot of them had fallen over, I tried to make them a little bit smaller. I know they don't look that small, but compared to the first ones, especially as I go, they get a little bit smaller. And though a couple of them did fall a little bit, or flop a little bit, I guess would be more accurate, for the most part they maintain their peaks pretty well. So once everything's piped out, filling up about 2.5 cookie sheets, I can go ahead and pop it in the oven at I think like 200 degrees for about 2 hours. I think I might have done an hour and a half since these were a little bit smaller and I didn't want to overcook them like the last time. They were done beautifully, like just perfectly poofy and delicious and delightful still. I melted a little bit of chocolate in a bowl and used a wooden skewer to make a little ghost face on it. Here you can see me going ahead and just painting a tiny little ghost face on each one. And here's how they turned out. They are so delicious and fantastic. I was delighted with them. But the next step was to make the cake that they would reside on. So I'm going with a super simple recipe, starting with some hot water on the stove so I can melt some chocolate chips, adding in a equivalent amount of butter to those chocolate chips. In the background, I've got a little bit more aquafaba going, and I'm gonna go ahead and whisk that up. Then I'm getting out a large bowl and adding almond flour. Here in the bowl, you can see the butter and chocolate just melted up beautifully. Once it's nice and melted, I can add the sugar in it, just whisking it a little bit at a time. And then I can go ahead and just add that chocolate, butter, sugar mixture to the almond flour, plus adding a little bit of vanilla, though the recipe doesn't originally call for it. And then popping in my whipped up aquafaba and gently folding it in, as well as a little bit of vegan yogurt, but whatever your preferred egg replacer is, you could use that instead, or if you don't care, you could use regular eggs. Once it's nice and mixed up, I have an oiled and floured cake pan ready to go, and a oven that is set at, I think, 350 degrees. I was trying to do it a little hotter than normal, because usually this cake I find is a struggle a bit to bake because the moisture content is so high with the almond flour. So I'm going ahead and baking it for about 40 minutes, and I feel like it definitely could have gone a little bit longer, but it was still quite tasty. And then it's time to make the spiderweb glaze. So I have a bit of vegan chocolate and vegan white chocolate, as well as some maple syrup and cream. So I'm getting a double boiler going. Once it's all melted and stirred together, incorporated well, I can go ahead and set it aside. Then I can go ahead and put a little metal bowl into the hot water and add again cream, maple syrup, and then this white chocolate that was honestly more like cacao butter, but whatever, it's fine. Once it's all melted up, I can go ahead and set that aside. I added a smidge of icing sugar to the white chocolate just to make sure it was thick enough, and I don't like a ton of frosting on my cake, and neither does Cage, so I did as thin a layer as possible, just enough to get the design in, but that's why you can see that it's like kind of sparks on the chocolate. It's intentional. I'm not a frosting guy. But once it's on, I can go ahead and put the white chocolate in a plastic bag and cut the tip off, and then I can draw a swirl into the chocolate. I definitely need to invest in a pastry bag, I'm sorry guys. Once it's all nice and swirled, I'm taking a toothpick and drawing little lines to make the spiderweb effect, and I was so happy with how this turned out because last year I tried to make this and it didn't work out at all in my opinion, and this year it honestly looked so cute and so good. I set it in the fridge and then took it out, and I was just like so pleased with it. So I'm going ahead and setting on my little ghosties, and I found that since I left them out for a little bit, they were kind of sticky. It's less of a problem in the fridge, but out, yeah, they got a little bit sticky, which was a bit of a struggle to set them on. But regardless, I got them all set up on there with their little faces facing out and one in the center, plus these kind of opalescent candles that I found at the dollar store. And then I just sprinkled a couple of little silver star sprinkles in front of the main ghost, and we were good to go. Cage really enjoyed this cake. He thought it was super tasty, and I loved making it. I think it looks super cute. I'm not like a fancy cake guy, like it's definitely simple is where I go, but this was a little bit more complicated than I usually go, but I was very happy with it, and I think it's so cute. And yeah, here's a little thing of Cage blowing out his candles, because yeah, 28, good for him. I'm very happy birthday to him. I was super pleased to have him home. Next, I wanted to make some pretzel bones. I'm getting a bowl of warm water and yeast with a little bit of sugar in it. Set it aside for a couple minutes so it activates, and in the meantime, I'm mixing up some flour and salt in a bowl. Once the yeast has been activated, I can add it to the flour and mix that up, and then go ahead and just knead it on the counter for like 5 minutes till it's nice and smooth and elasticy. My arms got quite a workout, but I got to listen to some music, so it was fine. We were having a good time. Next, I can just go ahead and set it in an oiled bowl for 30 minutes, cover it with a towel, and once it's about doubled in size, I can take a knife and go ahead and cut it in 8 pieces. When I make regular pretzels, I cut it in 4, but for bone pretzels, I cut it into 8. So I can go ahead and cut it into 8 pieces and set them aside to rest for a couple minutes. While they're resting, I get some hot water in a bowl with some baking soda and mix that up until it's dissolved. Then I can take those little squares of pretzel and roll them into a snake, and then tie that snake into 2 knots at the end so they're a little bit of a bone shape. I feel like these always look a little bit like dog treats, but it's fine. They're cute. They're supposed to be regular bones, and when I asked Cage what he wanted for his birthday, he said nothing. Like, he said the Halloween vests were enough, but when I pressed him on it, he said pretzel bones, so hey, we're doing the pretzel bones. And in the meantime, I was watching Beetlejuice in the background, so that was a super fun time. Once they're all rolled out, I'm brushing them with a little bit of butter, though if I had aquafaba still, I would have used that instead, and then sprinkling them with some coarse salt and setting them in the oven for about 15 minutes if I remember correctly, and they're coming out all beautiful and brown, and I was very, very pleased with the results. So lastly, I had a bunch of beautiful harvested vegetables from my mom's garden that were all amazing. Every single thing here, except for the yam, like all the potatoes, the garlic, the carrots, the beets, they're all from her garden. So I'm going ahead, and after everything's nice and washed, I'm peeling and cutting everything in half. I'm gonna do a parboil, which is like you boil the vegetable for like 5 minutes before you cook it, just to make the cutting process easier. But I normally never do this when I roast vegetables, so new thing for me. Beets are one of the prettiest vegetables in my opinion. All the cool rings, like when you peel them, are just stunning. Taking out the potatoes and yams and replacing them with the beets and the carrots eventually. Once the carrots and the beets are cooking and the potatoes and yams have cooled down, I can take out the first yam and start slicing it into pieces, and then I'm going ahead and cutting out with just a sharp knife a little jack-o'-lantern face. I wanted to make sort of little pumpkin faces, so I'm trying a couple different techniques from like the little pumpkin carving kits in different shapes and things like that, but I found that just a sharp knife and very triangular classic faces was the way to go. For the potatoes, I'm going ahead and slicing them into pieces. Please ignore the red stain, it's from the beets, an unfortunate part. And then I'm chopping a little bit off the bottom to make a bit of a ghost face and trying to carve out the eyes. This was another thing that I experimented with. I found that carving out the eyes with a knife was kind of tricky, and instead of sturdy straw was super helpful for that. Just making sure to poke the eye holes first before cutting out the bottom of the potato I found helpful. And then for the beets, I'm cutting them into a little witch hat shape, and this idea I found online, so I did not come up with any of these, but I just found it absolutely delightful. So once all the beets are cut up, I can move on to the carrots, which we're doing nothing special to. We're leaving them as is, maybe cutting them in half if they're big, and we're just calling them witch fingers and calling it a day, as the person in the post said. So yeah, perfect, good for that. I know there's some recipes where you can make them look like fingers with like almonds as the fingernails and this and that, but it's fine. I can get my garlic ready to roast. This one we're also not doing anything special to. I'm just peeling it, and I do this every time I roast vegetables. I just take a whole garlic clove and cut off the tippy top of it, put it on the baking sheet, drizzle it with some olive oil, rub it in a little bit, and then just bake it with the rest of the vegetables. It turns into this incredibly creamy, delicious, like almost buttery spread that you can put on toast and stuff. So these are how all the vegetables are looking cut out, and I season them with some olive oil, salt, pepper, thyme, and rosemary, dill, and just a bunch of my favorite herbs. And once they're all nice and coated, I can throw them in the oven. I think I ended up putting them in for about 30 minutes. Normally I'd do 40, but since they had been parboiled, it was a little bit less. And then for all the scrap veggies, I just added those in a little bowl at the top. And this is how they're looking baked. So a little bit goofy, but I think they turned out cute, and I really like the idea. And this was how the meal altogether ended up looking with all the roast veggies. We also had a little bit of vegan bacon because that's Cage's favorites. I had the bowl of Pretzel Bones and those Appletinis that I had tested out earlier in this vlog, the roast garlic, for dessert the cake. Everything was super, super delightful, and it was just, I don't know, I have a lot of fun getting to kind of make a spooky fun food, and Cage always appreciates it a lot, so it's nice to cook for someone who really loves it and makes me feel appreciated. So lots of fun, and another happy birthday to him.
Anyway, that is all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, especially till the end. That always means so much to me. I hope you have a wonderful day or night or whenever it is that you happen to be here with me. Give yourself a big hug from me, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye!